Hello everybody and welcome to another video. This video I got inspiration from, again, still the fruit of the Spirit, and we went over joy 2 weeks ago. But one of the things that I really loved and took away from it was that so many of us place joy in our earthly possessions or purchases, and we look for ways on earth to bring us joy. And it led to the parable of the lost son, which I thought was a neat little story. And for those who don't know about it, the story, it's about two brothers who, from what I take, had a fairly well-off family. And the younger brother decided that he wanted to take his inheritance early, and his father granted him that wish, and he took his money, his whatever it was, and he left home and he set out to see the world. And in doing so, he ended up living a pretty wild lifestyle. And per the book, he squandered it on wild living and prostitutes and who knows what else. But then the story keeps going on, and then it talks about how there was a major famine in the city that young man was in, and that it ended up leaving him, he was broke, and then it ended up with him being basically homeless, broke, had nothing, and he ended up having to hire himself out as a servant to other people around. And in the story, he talks about how he comes to the realization that he's sitting there feeding pigs and he's starving, and he realizes how much he had when he was at home. And so he made the decision to pack it up and head home and basically ask his father for forgiveness. And in here he says, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and you, and I'm no longer worthy to be called your son." But the father quickly embraced him, and from my reading, basically acted like, the event never took place or never happened. And I think to me, it's a beautiful story, because I feel like that's how God treats us, to me, because you can, me, for example, I didn't go out hiring prostitutes, so let me say that. But, I did live a wild life and a very non-Christian life for a long time. And I was able to, go back and get back into church and give my life back to God. And now that's where I have joy now. And, it goes to talk about how, there's rejoicing in the presence of the angels of God over just one person repenting and giving their life up to God. And that's what brings them joy, or him joy, I should say. So, it seems like to me in the story, it seems like any joy that you purchase is almost always temporary, and it can only make you happy for so long before you're going to try to fill that void with something else. And again, I can very much relate to that, because it was like I would be up here and then I was down here, and I'd have to find something to get back up here, and then it was a never-ending vicious cycle. But I can say now, thankfully, I have joy now, thankfully, from just being a child of God and trying to live as good of a life as I can live. Again, still fall short, but it's very comforting to know that no matter what, I have a Father who will always forgive me and will welcome me back home. So I just thought about that. And, it's one of those things too, when you talk about joy, it's, to me, joy is to be shared and not reserved. And I think if everybody can also just try to be a positive, joyful person and spread that around their home or their office or wherever they may be, there's no telling who that might impact, just from being a good, joyful, positive person. But if anybody, is interested in commenting, I'd love to know, if you wanted to comment on some things that bring you joy or that used to bring you joy, and maybe you found something new that brings you joy. I'd love to hear about it. But anyways, God loves you. Jesus loves you. I love you. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. Bye.